It's time for your daily crypto update with Framework Fortune Crypto. I'm your host, Ben. Now let's dive in. So we did get that pullback across the market. Get Bitcoin getting rejected right there at the downtrend. So on the 4-hour chart, we now have a downtrend that needs to break right through here. A lot of selling over the past little while, cracking below that 10-day moving average, trying to hold up the 50. Now we want to see 40,000 hold as support. It is below it, but we could get a bounce right back above 40,000 off of the 50-day. If not, if it continues to crack the 50-day, the next support would be around 37,000. If it comes down that low, we more than likely will get a bounce off of that 200-day moving average. So it just may be a little bit longer before Bitcoin breaks out. We did just go straight up from 30,000 to 42,000 over the past 2 weeks. So it had to take a breath and consolidate some before it makes another big move. If it ends up holding up to 50-day and bounces off here, then we should get a test of the downtrend at 42.5 and break of that, and Bitcoin will be off. So at the moment, I would be looking at it to drop down to 37,000, but it is still a possibility it could bounce off the 50-day. Ethereum has slowed down some since Bitcoin started slowing down, but did have a very nice move up to 2,700. We're above 2,500. We're actually currently holding the 10-day. And we're pretty bullish still. If Bitcoin pulls back, Ethereum could pull back from here. But we do have this triangle forming on Ethereum. So break out of the tip just like the other ones. We'll see Ethereum back up to 3,000. If it breaks out of the bottom, it'll drop down to 2,400, which is previous resistance and previous support. 50-day is also at that 2,400. So we would see a bounce more than likely off of that 2,400 area. But we will see what's going to happen on Ethereum. It will happen in the next 24 hours from when this triangle finishes. So Cardano did break out of its triangle, had a push up to 140. Very nice. Getting rejected though, so it's come back down to the 50-day. If it can hold here, if it can hold above 130 and start pushing back up, that will confirm this triangle breakout, and we could see a Cardano up to that 145, 150 level. But you can see that same downtrend that's on Bitcoin and Ethereum is on Cardano at the moment as well. So it's got to break this downtrend, this downward momentum, which this downward momentum is pretty straight down, kind of like this move was here. I would expect as we get closer to these EMAs that we're holding that support, we'll start to see buying come back in and see a bounce. Cardano's got the 50 and the 200-day right there, both at 129. So that's pretty strong support. I expect a bounce to come off of this. Today's top gainer, MLN, breaking over its downtrend, making a big move from $80 all the way up to $117. Got pushed down up there all the way back to 103, still pushing back under 100, but looks like it's going to try to find some support around this 100 to 95 area. It is way off of the 10-day. 10-day is way far away from the 50, so there could be some dramatic pullbacks with this as the volume that has come into it is making it very, very volatile. Scale still climbing, just climbing up and bouncing right off of this 50-day over and over again. Broke this downtrend, bounced off the 50 and the 200, back up to this little peak testing this 27 to 28 cent area. But looking pretty decent there on Scale, even though Bitcoin and Ethereum are down at the moment. Look at the volume that's come in here in the past day. That's what we want to see. We want to see big volume like this on all the cryptos continue to come in. Polkadot getting rejected at 20. That's come down some. Testing that 10-day right now. Does have support right there in that 17 area, plus the 50s coming up and the 200. Looks like it has some very strong support areas below it now. Even if it does pull back, I think it'll bounce off 17, but this is going to test 20 sometime this week probably. So farm, if you're a day trader, this one might be a lot of fun as it is so volatile. That initial huge run up, it has come back down now. You do have a downtrend right like that. If it breaks that downtrend, it could push up crazy again. But look at some of the moves on this. This candle was 185 to 239. Just big candles, big volatility. So this one you do have to be careful with. But I haven't touched it yet for day trading, but I'm getting interested in it as it starts to fill out a little more of the chart. Definitely want to keep on watch if you're a day trader. So ICP in a bit of a triangle. It is still bearish, especially compared to most of the other cryptos. The 10 and 50 are below the 200 days, so that's pretty bearish. It's holding up the bottom of this triangle. If it can bounce there and break out and break over the 200 day, then we can see ICP start to make some big moves, but not looking great. Trying to hold the 50 day at the moment, but struggling. The EMAs are pointing down. We'll see if that holds up or not. Polygon back to this 105 area. Still trying to hang out right there. The 50 day still hasn't crossed the 200 yet, but it's close. If it can bounce off of this 1 to 105 area again, push up, then we can see that 50 start crossing and see a little bit more action in Polygon. But at the moment, it's getting held down just like Ethereum and Bitcoin. A little light on volume here the last day compared to what it was getting. RLC with a very nice bull flag going on here, or bear flag, whatever you want to call these flags. I just call them all triangles. I don't really care because a triangle is just a triangle. Getting close to the tip. Break out of the top, RLC could make a big move. Break out of the bottom, it's going to come down to $3 and test that support. But as big as this triangle of consolidation is, if it breaks out to the top, should be quite a move. I would say it'll shoot to $4 and then test that. If it breaks $4, it could really start going, but one to keep an eye on, RLC. So THETA could not break this little triangle. It is broken to the downside. You can see the 10-day moving average is even below the triangle tip now. It's trying to hold the 50-day, but not looking great to hold that. We'll see if it can or not. 50-day is still right below the 200. If this drops below the 50-day, it's going to drag the 10-day back under the 200-day moving average, which would make this bearish again. So Vechain broke its triangle, moved all the way up to 9.3. Pulling back like the rest of the market. We get a bounce, then Vechain will continue its move up and probably get to 10. If not, it does have pretty strong support at 8 cents that it could hold up. CGLD has cracked out of this little triangle to the downside, currently trying to hold this 50-day moving average. I'm still holding the swing. If it does not hold up here, I'm going to be getting out. The main thing is this pullback we're seeing across the crypto markets right now just that breath before the next leg up, or is this the start of a dump back down to those low support areas? There's a lot of news headlines coming out. Coinbase just finally opened applications for their debit card. That to me is pretty big. There's a lot of users on Coinbase, and if people don't have to use bank accounts anymore because they can use a debit card to just pull their money straight from their cryptos, well, I see a lot of crypto heads moving that way, which means that they probably still got some cash that they're going to be converting into cryptos. Bitcoin's mutual fund has come out as well. Voyager just took over Coinify, which I'm going to cover here a little bit later in a separate video, a short video. And Cardano is teaming up with Fortune 500 companies. So there is a lot of hot PR coming out for the crypto market. That's why I just think this pullback is just a small correction, a small breath. And even if we pull back some more, which is possible, there's still all those support lines that were previous resistance I think we're going to see hold up. I think hype and buying is just now coming back into the crypto markets. And if I am accurate in this prediction, then I think we will see a very hot crypto market the rest of the year. So if there's any coins that I am not currently covering on a weekly basis that you would like me to cover, leave it in the comments below and let me know your thoughts on the overall direction of the crypto market. Appreciate everybody joining me as always. Stay safe out there. Until next time.